Mark, here we are, banging through seventh chords. Following up on what we did last time, we're now trying to go, just back different combinations of power chord, and then either the first, second, or third string down up. We're palm muting on the low string, so we got this. And then we're anchored in, much like we do here, but up here in a way that restricts our movement. And, accomplishes the opposite of what we do down here, where getting to these strings is a little bit tricky. So there we go, even if we're not palm muting. That's often our range of motion for low string, high string, heavy. Anyway, there we are, playing wise. Then we talked about a bunch of bar chord structure. Seventh chords. The basic ones. E7, E with a D, with a flat 7. So this is E7, this is E7, this is E7, either or both. Cool. A's, A, A7, 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 either adding G or G there. Either or both. 1 second. To adjust my back, much better. Cool, man. So, good times. Alright, so then the minor versions. E minor, you already know. And then E minor 7 is going to be putting in that same D. So here, or both. That's a chord that's in a lot of songs. And like we talked about during the lesson, minor 7 is often interchangeable with minor, where they sound almost identical. Like I'm going to go D, B minor, and then D, B minor 7. Almost sounds like the same thing, but that wouldn't be true of a major chord. I was going to D, A. Versus, it kind of works, but either way, there we go. So those all have flat 7ths in them. And as a bar chord, there's a C7 using this shape. Or sometimes we'll go, the same as. Cool. And we don't have enough fingers for both without doing stuff we don't really do. Awesome. And then minor is easier. It's just, and then same here. And those are some good minor. A minor 7 in a lot of songs. That covers all of our flat 7s that are based on E and A shapes. Again, it's like, and then like, or we also talked about some C-based shapes that have a flat 7th in them. C7 has this, there's our 7th, that looks like that. Do, re, mi, fa, flat. So we got C7 movable. And a 9th chord, which if you just start by doing this and then, it's like that. So 7, 7, 7, 6, 7, whatever. And this can be done in either position. Like we were talking about with, if you started with this and then went like this, it seemed easier than starting with this and, there we go. Then the key to fretting is doing this, barring rather, and if you could pull flat down like that in this instance, because there's no negative first string to avoid, but then you'd have issues with these notes fretting successfully, which was the main issue you were actually having, was getting this note to ring out. And that was because you were a little too far down here, probably, or elbow too far up, things that made this finger get in that position. So yeah. And there we are. So it's like 7th chord, 9th chord, And we really do want to be able to get that high string for. Cool. And then there's some other ninth chords, and these are all versions of seventh chords with flat sevenths. Cool. So then there's the minor 9, where we get to make it minor, and then we can put that in here too. Or one's more dissonant. Those are both called E minor 9. Cool. We do mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I imagine I said that already. Okay, and that covers all of our flat 7. Now there's a chord called A major 7, where instead of A or G, we're adding G sharp, A flat, and we get that from the sound of, and that's our regular, you know, the error message, but when we put in a 5th and a 3rd, and as a bar chord, it's a 4-finger chord. That's in a lot of songs. So, and there's really no minor chord equivalent for those. So there we go. That's what's up. We've got our whole C stuff. And then A stuff. And E stuff. Excellent. Hey, while we're at it, if you were playing a 9th chord, and you move the whole, and like kind of whatever with this finger, and you move the whole thing up, it's a good way to play it A minor 7, just missing that note from the power chord. So yeah, that does move up here, and it's the same as just without that one. Cool, there they are, a bunch of 7th chords. Enjoy, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.